A 60-year-old Otago man has been sentenced to life imprisonment for the brutal murder of his neighbour. Stephen Findlay bludgeoned Sharon Comerford to death in her Seacliff home last year and was found with self-inflicted gunshot wounds to his face. Dave Gooselich reports.
Stephen Findlay can't remember the events of last March, but 6 years of arguments with neighbour Sharon Comerford in the small community of Seacliff ended with her brutal murder. 60-year-old Findlay entered Comerford's house, bashing her a dozen times in the head with a blunt instrument.
The sustained beating caused significant deformations in the victim's skull.
The next morning, Findlay walked to a nearby park and shot off half his own face. Findlay was found here at the nearby Truby King Reserve with critical gunshot injuries. He was then transported to Dunedin Hospital. The blast removed an eye and part of his nose and left him with no memory of his actions. The victim's sisters say the brutal murder has had long-lasting effects.
The horror of how Sharon was taken from me makes the impact far greater.
After the death of my sister Sharon, I would wonder what it would be like to hang myself or cut myself and just bleed. This was just to stop the pain of her loss and how she died.
Justice Dunningham acknowledged the defendant's remorse, late guilty plea and the consequences of his self-inflicted injuries.
It's self-evident to all who are in this court that the punishment you have inflicted on yourself is lifelong, and it is in addition to any prison sentence.
Findlay was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum non-parole period of 11 years. Dave Gooselich, News Hub.